Sometimes you hear things like, God just spoke to me now. The Holy Ghost speaks to me every time. Oh, I just heard the voice of God this morning. It's a normal thing for God to speak to his children. I don't know the last time you celebrated or bragged about hearing your father talk to you. Or maybe you received a call from your father, then you went to church and gave a testimony that, oh, my father called me today. I had a chat with my father. So it is very normal for God to speak with his children. And the truth that God is actually speaking all the time. For the fact that a lot of believers does not pick his voice or does not hear him when he's speaking does not mean he's not speaking. It's not something to brag with. Oh, I hear from God. Oh, God talk. It's not something to brag with because it is very normal. It's very normal for God to speak to his people. Now, what is most important when it comes to hearing from God is what you do with the voice of God that you hear. How do I mean? Everyone that God spoke to in the scriptures ran with the voice of God. I don't know the kind of voice of God that you are hearing that kept you in one place, kept you stagnated. Hearing the voice of God should put you on the run. Abraham, leave this to a place I will show you. Abraham took his bag and started moving. The voice of God puts you on the move. So when you hear the voice of God, what is important is the action that you put towards that word that you heard. And that action is what will bring the manifestation of what God has told you. I don't know why the only thing that your God tells you is bad things. Or how somebody will lose all their money, how somebody will be sick, and how this one is living in sin. It's just telling you bad things. That's not the God of the Bible. The voice of God comes to give you peace, comfort, edification, and not to give you crisis. You said you heard from God, and the only thing you are hearing is negativity regarding people. You have to check it and know whether it is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that spoke to you. The voice of God is a voice of action, the voice of direction. Nobody can ever hear the voice of God and remain the same. I mean, how can the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob ever tell you something that will never come to pass? So if you are still in one place, you are confused on what you want to do, and you are still bragging about hearing the voice, it's not actually God that you heard. You cannot hear God and remain the same. Hearing from God is not a point to brag. Just like our earthly parents speak to us, I will never celebrate that my father called me on phone. I will never celebrate that my father had a chat with me. It's a normal thing, I expect it. So every child of God, God speaks to them. The question is this: are you picking the voice of God? Some of them have not mastered the way God speaks to them to understand that He's the one speaking. That God spoke to you and you picked it does not make you special. There's nothing special about you because of that. After all, God spoke to a donkey. God speaks to people who don't even follow. The time that Jesus met with Saul on his way to Damascus, he was still an unbeliever, persecuting. Yet Jesus met with him and gave him the ministry. And that God speaks to you does not also mean that you have a calling to do any ministry anywhere. It's a normal, natural thing for parents to talk to their children. So if God is your father, He will surely He's speaking to you. You may not be hearing. So it's not something you come out and start to brag about. Oh, I just heard from God yesterday. God just spoke to me now. Oh, God spoke to me. That's not a place to brag.